Hello there everyone, how you doing today? I hope you're all well. Today we've got some entitled parents for you. And apologies in advance for any reduced recording quality. It's a very nice day where I live and I'm leaving the window open while I record, so I hope you understand. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. First story here. Karen threatens to off me because her pizza was late. I, 16 male, just started my first job at Domino's and I've already had my fair share of entitled parents. This story will live with me for a long time. For starters, my Domino's is close to an army barracks and almost every night we have a large order of above 20 pizzas. This impacts other orders that are made during rush. Most of the time people are understanding of this, and on occasion they are not, they just accept it. And I have been called a lazy C-word sometimes. This one lady was not having it. We had just got a 35 pizza order from the army barracks, and we just finished making all the pizzas. Hadn't put them in the oven yet, and that's when Karen called. Her order was 6 pizzas and 3 sides. She wanted 4 milkshakes, but our machine was broken, and she mumbled under her breath loud enough for me to hear how I was a freaking R-worded liar. I ignore it and ring her up. The total was about 75 to 80 bucks. Order of 3, our most expensive pizzas in size. And she didn't like that one bit, but she paid for it. I told her about the large order and said it might be a possibility that her pizza might be a tad late. She said, okay, that's fine. Her predicted arrival is 7:05 to 7:10. She ordered at around 6:35ish. She called at 7:06 and screamed at me. Entitled mother, where are my freaking pizzas? Me, ma'am, your pizza left 5 minutes ago. They should be there in about 5 or so minutes. Entitled mom, you said 7:05 and it's 7:07. Where are they? Ma'am, please calm down. They are going to arrive soon. Do you know who I am? I know the owner of the store at Health, and he will fire you after I tell him what terrible freaking service the store has. Me. What's his name? He's right here. The owner wasn't there. Jackson, she said. Unfortunately, that's not our manager name. The pizza will arrive to you in about 3 minutes. Thank you. Entitled mom calls again. Where are my pizzas, you freaking son of a bitch? The driver's turning onto your street now. Entitled mom. This is a freaking outrage. I demand a refund. Ma'am, the only way you can get a refund is if you don't eat the pizza, or if you do, I can get you a single $15 delivery for your favorite pizza. I don't want the $15 pizza. I want to eat my pizza and I deserve a refund for having to wait so much longer. The food is handed to her at the door. She goes back off the phone. And then she gets back. If you don't give me that refund now, I will personally call my husband and get him to go to the store and off you. I'm so sorry about the late delivery, ma'am, but since you have taken the pizza, I cannot give you a full refund. I can only give you a single favorite $15 pizza delivered. I'll just deal with it then. But watch your back, you freaking C-word. She slams the phone so hard that it felt like my eardrums exploded. It's been 2 weeks since then, and we had to order from them each time someone else answered. And both times they said to the person to say to me to watch my back and that they are coming for me. Luckily, on the night that it happened, the actual manager let me take all the tips home when I finished. I forgot you mentioned that after the second order, I said to the driver, "Be careful, she's a crazy B-word." And my manager overheard, and I told him what happened, and she is now banned. And I know her husband. Her husband is the coach of my little brother's team, and the man is shorter than me, 5'10", and is way skinnier than me. Entitled Mom gets upset at store clerk. Hi, I'm rather new here, but thought that this deserved to be on here. This interaction was kinda bizarre. I witnessed it firsthand, though in the end, I didn't do much. Wish I did more to stop it before it escalated. So, a bit of context where I live. You can't buy knives or lighters until you're officially 18. If you try the cash register, it will shut down until a manager types in a password. At least in the store this happened in, that happens. Basically, the machine will scan whatever ID, and if it's not valid, or even says the person is a day younger than 18, it pops up. An invalid enter password to return to checkout pops up. And in the case this happens, when no manager is there, which is rare, the staff are kinda stuck one register down until one arrives. Now, I'm a regular there, so the employees know me by name, and I'm 18. I don't look it though. Also, by the way the store is set up, you walk into the door and turn left to go into the store. The checkout line is blocked off by racks, so if someone is blocking the path, it's hard to get through the store and back out of the door. So this was never really an issue. Well, not usually. Sometimes a big cart was in the way, but the people would usually be polite and say something like, "I'm almost done. I'm sorry for this. There's 2 registers in the store, one behind the other." Now, onto the entitlement. So I just finished shopping for dinner, got some spaghetti stuff and some lighters for my incense. I also had a small black pocket knife being held for me. I got in line behind this kid who looks to be 16 or 17 and was waiting patiently. This kid gets to the register and plops up a pocket knife and some lighters. I just wait my turn. The lady at the till, who we'll call A for awesome, scans his items, and then he hands his ID. Apparently, he was only a few days from turning 18. The interaction that followed went something like this. The kid will call D for dummy. "Will this be all?" said A. D said yes. A looks at the ID. "Can you verify your age?" D: "I'm old enough, just scan the items." A starts to explain that the ID states he's too young. D says, "My birthday's tomorrow, just sell the stuff and do your job." A shrugs and scans the item, and then the idea. The machine flashes up in the box. The manager was on break, and so he was not in the store. A: "I'm sorry, I tried to tell you, but it wouldn't let you through." D says, "I'm not leaving without my items." At this point, I had to be there an extra 10 minutes longer than I wanted. A calls over her equally awesome C co-worker, who opened register 2 and waved me over. Me and C start chatting as I am getting my things scanned, and in enters entitled Mom. This was what roughly happened.
"Honey, we got to go. Have you paid yet?"
D said, "No, she's not letting me pay." A says, "Your ID is locked to register. I can't activate any of the functions to allow you to pay." D says, "She's lying," and the entitled Mom says,
"How dare you hold up my precious son? He's old enough. Let him pay."
A, still standing firm. "Look, ma'am, I can't open any of the functions until a manager arrives."
"Well then get them," she hisses out. "I want to get you fired."
A says, "She's on break. You're free to wait." D says, "Mom, I want my presents." A said, "You're too young. I can't sell these to you." Entitled Mom says,
No, he's not. Stop lying. Here, just scan my ID.
A, now looking fed up. That isn't how the system works. At this point, I feel like I'm getting stupider and stupider by witnessing this. I now put my lighters and ask if they still have the knife. They say yes, and I pull out a tiny multi-tool pocket knife from behind the counter and scan it. I hand them my ID. Okay, OP, will this be all, or do you need new headphones again? Jokingly says this, it's an inside joke. Yeah, I'm fine. C scans my ID, non-drivers, and I pay. Entitled mother then takes notice of this and screeches out,
"That girl looks to be the same age as my son."
A says, no she's not, she. Entitled mom, cutting her off,
"She must have a fake ID, she must."
A says, ma'am, I can assure you it's not fake. A took me to get it after her shift a few weeks prior. D walks over to me and holds his hand out. Me looks confused and tries to walk away, in which D blocks me. My ID doesn't work. Give me yours. Me, taken aback. No, and as she said, the machine doesn't work like that. Entitled mom then says,
"Great idea, honey,"
and then looks at me.
"Hand it over."
Again, I say no. And then A says, ma'am, can you please stop harassing OP? She's done nothing wrong. C says, and can you move? You're blocking the line. Entitled mom says, one sec, as she reaches for my ID. Miss, I will warn you not to touch me. Now, for a bit more context, I am military trained and have a ridiculous amount of strength due to a birth defect.
Oh, don't be a bitch.
Me, if you touch me, you will be restrained. I was in full view of the camera and said this very loudly, so people could hear as to cover my butt. The entitled mom rolls her eyes and grabs the arm my wallet's on. A, already on the phone with police. And I grab her wrist and restrain her. I did not hurt her, I just took her wrist and held it behind her back, pushing her down. She was quite small, so this was the best thing to do as to not hurt her. I am not a violent person, so this was just keeping things from escalating. D seems to be terrified and unsure what happened. Entitled mom, however, is screaming profanities. The police show up, and I let go once they did, as I didn't want to seem to be the aggressor. The entitled mom starts making up some wild tale about how the employees weren't cooperative and how I had attacked her. And A said, that's not what happened, sir. And then C says, I can take one of you back to see the CCTV footage. Police officer 1 says fine. Police officer 2, go get some statements. And police officers 2 gets everyone's statements. Me tells the truth and explains I did warn her. Entitled mom makes up her own twisted fairy tale version. A matches my statement. Police officer 1 and C come back to the front. Police officer 1 says, you're coming with me, ma'am. Would you like to press charges? I say, yes, I would. Police officer 1 says, cuff her. Police officer 2 cuffs EM. Police officer 1 says, ma'am, do you want to press assault charges? Me, yeah, she dug her nails into my wrist. Entitled mom, acting shocked and screaming about her rights. Police officer 2 smiles and proceeds to read her off her rights. They left, and everyone who had to wait in line got a free item under $5. Oh, wow. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. See you next time.